I would like to show you how to use very gentle sensory tapping on your body to help relieve tension out of your neck and shoulders, and to basically help improve your breathing as well. So for that, all you need is your hands. So you're just going to use your fingers and you're just going to gently tap. You're going to tap underneath your collarbone, all the way out from the breastbone to the shoulder. You're going to tap from on top of the collarbone, and you'll notice the sensation is quite different when you're tapping on bone. Then you're going to come into this bit over here, and we do have a tendency to want to rub and tap over here a little bit harder than elsewhere because there's so much muscle here and it feels quite good. Then bring your hand up behind you and just tap into the back of the neck and into the base of the skull, just on that side. So my left side, your right side if you're doing the mirror image. And then you can just lift your arm up and you're just going to tap underneath your armpit here, and then just around on the ribs. Good. And then just coming into your low back. Now I always use just a soft fist here because it's a bit hard with the fingers, and I just tap onto the back of my rib cage. So I'm sort of leaning forward a bit so that I can just bring those ribs back into the surface a little bit more. And here my voice is going all funny. And just gently breathing as you tap. Just see how that feels. So I feel a bit lopsided now. So it's just a way of your brain making sense of where the outline of your body is, and the muscles that are tight kind of go, oh, I don't have to be so tight, and they just relax a little bit. So it just brings awareness into where you're holding tension, and then your body just magically sorts it out for itself. So it's quite a neat trick. Let's come on the other side. So you're going to start underneath the collarbone from the breastbone area, and just tap across towards the shoulder, and then come up on top of the collarbone and tapping out. Coming up on the top on that sort of gnarly bit here that we always like it when somebody gives us a good rub there, and then come up behind the back of the neck, staying on that same side right into the base of the skull. And then just lifting the arm up, you're going to come underneath the armpit, tapping around on all the ribs. And then I just use the same hand, soft fist, leaning forward, and just tapping. And even go down into the low back actually, with just soft fists at the back there, because your diaphragm does actually finish on the vertebra of your lower back. And then just sitting up again and just seeing how that feels. So that should feel quite delicious, and you should feel quite energized from doing that, and you really have a sense of where your body is in space, just like an outline that you're going to be coloring in. So there's another thing that you can do which will really help to relieve tension. So if you notice you had a lot of tension just right here through the top of the shoulder, you can use your hand. You're just going to grab hold of a whole sort of big area of that muscle, and you're going to give it a gentle squeeze. So it's almost like you're trying to lift it up, and you're just going to hold it gently. And then very slowly just let the muscle release. And what you could imagine here is that your hand is like a sponge. And when you pick the muscle up, you're squeezing all of the water out of the sponge. And then as you slowly release, just imagine that it's soaking up loads of water and it's becoming quite soft and heavy. So that the muscle is not so raised anymore, but that it starts sort of draping down over the bones. Just release. Good. And then just see how that feels. So that feels quite low now. Let's come on to the other side. So I might just turn around, just show you from the back. So I'm just grabbing as much of the muscle as I can, and I'm just sort of picking it up. Now you don't want to pinch yourself here. It's very gentle. Just imagine that you're squeezing water out of a sponge, and then just allow the sponge to sink into the water, just soaking it all back up again. And again, you're just going to all lift up. And then slowly, just ever so slowly, just for the duration that it might take for that sea sponge to soak up all the water. And we'll do a third one. Oh, I found a sore spot there. I'm going to grab that bit. And then just slowly release. Good. Always have to rearrange your clothing afterwards. Excellent. And just see how that feels now. So now when you just tune into your breathing again, if you just close your eyes for a second and just invite the breath into your body, and invite the breath to leave, can you notice that it's easier or that you're more aware of where that breath is touching? I'm going to show you some exercises now that you can do lying down, which will also help to release tension through your neck and shoulders and to increase the sort of mobility of your rib cage so that we can keep massaging the ribs, the spaces between the ribs and that all-important diaphragm muscle. So we're going to start off lying on our backs, and I do encourage you to have a pillow behind your head so that it helps to tip your rib cage in the right position so you don't bring tension into the back of the rib cage and where the main part of your diaphragm is. So we're just going to lie down, and you just want to take a moment here to allow your spine just to relax into its comfortable space. Maybe just take a couple of gentle breaths in and out through your nose. Again, just inviting the breath and the movement that that breath brings into your body. Now you're going to reach your arms up towards the ceiling, and you want to keep your arms about shoulder distance apart. You're going to have your palms facing towards each other. Now you're going to inhale, you're going to reach one arm up towards the ceiling, and your rib cage is going to twist a little bit. And then you're going to slowly slide that arm bone back down. So imagine that this arm is growing long, and then it's going to melt back down. So it's like something really elastic being stretched, and then slowly just allow it to recoil. Inhale as you reach up, and exhale as you melt. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you melt the arm bone down, and again inhale to reach up, exhale to come down. Now we're just going to cross the arms over, so you just want to put one elbow on top of the other and then hold onto the shoulder blades sort of underneath your armpit there. Now just allow your elbows to get quite heavy towards your pelvis. So you're going to feel that's going to pull you forward a bit, and now you're just going to gently rock from side to side. So again, we're just creating a little bit of weight, and that extra weight of the arms on the top is going to help to stretch and relieve tension between the shoulder blades and sort of through the bottom of the rib cage. Let's switch over, put the other arm on top, again reaching around and just gently rocking. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, just keep going with that previous exercise where you've reached the arms up towards the ceiling. Good. And then just gently relax. Now we're just going to place the arms down on the ground, palms are going to face up towards the ceiling, and you're just going to slowly open your arms out to the side and then bring them back down again. So just let them skim the floor that you're lying on and then bring them back down. So as you open your arms, try to keep your ribs nice and soft and heavy into the floor. Don't let them sort of pop up towards the ceiling. Keep them nice and soft, heavy, and just allow the shoulders to open and relax. And we're just going to do one more like that. So we're just warming up the shoulders and warming up the movement of the ribs. Now we're going to come onto the side, and again here you want to be comfortable in your neck. So if you find that having both arms out in front of you compresses your neck, I'd suggest that you just put your hand underneath the pillow and create a bit more support, or even put two pillows on top of each other. We're going to again make sure that we're not flaring those ribs forward. So you're just going to let the ribs soften and tuck back, and then you're going to imagine you're rolling an impression of your ribs on a block of clay. So you're just going to gently rotate and open. So you can let this top leg and hip come with you, it's okay. And then slowly bring yourself back. So you just explore your range of motion. Remember, you want to tuck your ribs in slightly. So you can imagine you're making an impression of the back of your rib cage on a block of clay. Just roll them back and then slowly come back in. So it's really important that you keep looking at your hand so that you don't strain your neck. And if there is any strain, then you've gone too far. So just back off. You might not be able to get around quite as far, and that's okay. This is a beautiful massage, right, for your spine, for your ribs, for your diaphragm, helps to open up your shoulders. It's a really important movement pattern for us, being able to do these lovely rotational movements. Fantastic. All right, so again, I love doing comparisons. So you're just going to lie on your back and just become aware of what the two sides feel like. So for me, I feel like the side that I've just released is sort of melting down into the ground, and this side feels like it's quite high and raised. I feel like a body of two halves. So I'm just going to spin myself around to the other side, but you can just turn over. But if you want to keep seeing me, I'd suggest you do the same thing. And again, you're just going to bring yourself onto your side. You're going to place the two hands on top of each other. Think about your ribs tucking in, so you can feel the back of the ribs just gently stretching. And imagine you're just rolling onto a block of clay, following your hand with your eyes, and then slowly bring yourself back again. And again, let the ribs tuck slightly, rolling back, letting that top hip move with you as well, if it's comfortable. If it's not, then just reduce your range of motion. So you might start off and only get to about here, and that's absolutely fine. So listen to your own body. If you try and force this, you're probably going to end up hurting yourself. So I would much rather that you just enjoyed the movement sensation. Good. And then coming back. Lovely. And then just turning onto your back again and just comparing the two sides. Oh, that feels better. Now I feel like I'm matching the two halves of my body up again. Good. I hope that you've enjoyed doing these exercises with me, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.